Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name's Austin. I'm the TCG manager here at Cardinal Gaming. For those of you who aren't familiar with some of the older content that was on this channel, I'm actually the Cardfight Vanguard expert as well, and today we have a special treat for you. Due to some other videos that I had done where I opened up a few boxes on our YouTube channel previously, Bushy Road reached out to me and wanted to gift us some of these OverDress start decks to open up on our YouTube channel. I wanted to do it with our product anyways, but unfortunately, just with all the crazy delays and things that were happening in the Port of Los Angeles, and our new streaming setup not being put together quite yet, with the initial launch of Vanguard OverDress, I was unable to get around to recording any content for it. But Bushy Road reached out. They gave me this awesome stuff, which thank you guys so much for the free product to actually open up and talk with some of our subscribers about. But anyways, we're gonna open these 5 beautiful start decks today. If you're unfamiliar with Cardfight Vanguard, it is a really fun game, and we're gonna introduce you guys to the Cardfight Vanguard life. I have a lot of fun with it. I've been playing the game competitively for 4 years now. So yep, I'm super hyped about OverDress, the launch of it. I've been playing the crap out of it, and it's super fun. These start decks are also an incredible value. With an MSRP of just $3.99, you can get in, try the game out, and I think that's an unbeatable value, especially whenever you do not have to purchase multiples of these start decks in any quantity unless you want to get the face card and triple R foiling. But yeah, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into it. So I've already pre-cut the packages just to make things a little bit easier. Again, these are $3.99 MSRP, so the packaging pretty neat. New little slide there that kind of talks about the new mechanics in OverDress. The game used to be a 24 clan based game, and now it is 5 nations, where they've combined all of the 24 clans together. So in a typical start deck, I'll just do this for the first one too. In a typical start deck, you're gonna obviously get your cards, but then you'll also get one of these cool paper play mats that kind of show you the zones of the game, and it also has a neat little QR code here where you can have your first guide to the game and learn a little bit more about the rules. We plan on doing a learn how to play video with some of these decks. I'm going to teach Mason how to play, so you can look forward to that in the future. Hopefully not the distant future, but with this collaboration, I just wanted to do these openings so that Bushy Road will hopefully sponsor us some more in the future. So the first start deck that we have here is the Dragon Empire start deck. It's really focused on big, heavy hitting attacks, and the selling point is the OverDress mechanic. So basically, you get to upgrade your units. The deck revolves around this guy, the Trickstar. He's a little grade 0, and then you can overdress on top of him with the Virina. The main character from the anime uses this deck. It's really fun. We'll definitely take a look at all of these cards in here. So we've got our Chakrabarthi Divine Dragon Nirvana. He has an act ability on Vanguard Circle once per turn. Discard a card from your hand, choose a grade 0 card from your drop, and call it to rear. You're going to target your Trickstar, just so you know. And then he has another ability, auto on Vanguard. When this unit attacks, counterblast 1, and this unit and all of your units with the OverDress ability get 10,000 until end of turn, 10,000 power. So pretty neat. Bushy Road has stated that the bosses that were included in the start decks are going to be relevant for a pretty long time, and they've kept up with that promise so far with the announcement of DBTO2. They supported all 5 nations and a lot of the Star Deck stuff. And then with DBTO3, they haven't started any of the card reveals, but it seems like they're going to be supporting the same archetypes again, with some new ones added in as well. Then we've got our Blaze Maiden Ryu, auto on Vanguard Circle. She's grade 2, 10k power. When this unit is rode upon by Chakrabarthi, Divine Dragon, Nirvana, Soul Blast 1, search your deck for up to 1 Virina, reveal it, and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. And then a continuous on Vanguard and Rearguard. During the battle that this unit attacked, this unit gets plus 2,000. So you'll kind of start to see a pattern taking shape here with this next card. It's grade 1 with 8k power, Blaze Maiden Rhino or Reno. Auto, when this unit is rode upon by Blaze Maiden Ryu, search your deck for up to 1 Trickstar, call it to rear, and shuffle your deck. And then continuous on Vanguard and Rear. During the battle that this unit attacked, she gets plus 2,000 power. A little 10k booster. So what you're going to notice here is we have our grade 0 with 6k power that says when this unit is rode upon, if you win second draw a card. We'll get more into it in the rules video, but basically what these do is your ride line. So you're going to want to ride your 0, you're going to ride this grade 1, and then you're going to want to ride this grade 2, and then you're going to want to ride this grade 3. And the ride deck, which is a new mechanic, allows you to put a grade 0, 1, 2, and 3 into it, and then ride from that ride deck with for the cost of a discard. So that's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and get through the rest of these. Got our grade 3 dude. All of these, by the way, pretty much stay in the deck after you've built it out with cards from the booster set, which I'm going to be doing a booster box opening next, so you guys can get a feel for some of the other cards that are included in the booster. Then we have our Fire / Dragon Inferno Sword. He's grade 3 with 13k power, continuous on rear. During the battle that this unit attacked, this unit gets plus 2,000. And then we have another star of the show, Virina. He's a grade 2, and see how he has this like cool frame around him. That's because he's an overdressed unit, and you'll overdress him on top of the Trickstar, which we'll get to. So he has an overdress ability, Trickstar, and you may place it by stacking it on the specified unit instead of normal calling it to rearguard circle. So that's where your overdress thing comes in. It's kind of like leveling them up, similar to how you ride your units in the base game. And then auto on rear, when this unit is in the overdress state, or when this unit in the overdress state attacks Vanguard, this unit gets plus 10,000 until end of that battle. Then Soul Blast 2, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. Pretty decent. Stays in the deck at least until set 2. And then we have our Iron Ball Dragon Inky Bowler, grade 1, 8k vanilla, not that good. Our Escort Stealth Dragon Hayashi Kaze is a grade 1 perfect guard. Perfect guards, for those of you who aren't familiar with Vanguard, are basically nulls. You can play this card, pay its cost, and then your opponent's attack is like nulled and just kind of like out of there. So this guy is a grade 1. We have a lot more space for our grade 1s now that we have the right deck, and he has a continuous skill. He's a Sentinel. You can only run 4 cards with Sentinel in your deck. And then an auto ability, when this unit is put on Guardian Circle, discard a card from your hand, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until the end of that battle. So again, a null, you pay for it with the cost of a discard. It does get replaced by the perfect guard that was in the booster set, which we'll be going over some of that stuff too. We got our Trickstar. He has a continuous rearguard ability. This unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. You run 4 of this dude. He's super important. And a lot of people actually choose to use him as their starter because with your ride deck abilities, you're going to be soul blast him out, call him back out. And for those of you who don't know, soul blasting is taking units from your soul. Say you had, those cards in your soul. Take 1 card, soul blast it out. It goes to the drop zone, and then they automatically kind of like get in there if they're on your Vanguard circle. So a lot of people run him as the starter. is going to remain relevant for a really long time. So picking up one of these start decks is a really good idea. Then we have our start deck over trigger. Brand new mechanic to Vanguard. Super controversial, super heavily powered, in my opinion. This one is the same in all the start decks, but he gives 100 million power whenever you check it. And then it has an additional effect. Choose one of your units and it gets plus 100 million power until end of turn. So you have some stuff that restands. You can restand, give it 100 million power, swing, you know, do the whole deal. Pretty good. A lot of decks post set 1 still run this. It's kind of like choice. So we got our critical triggers. Lots of people were thinking that they were effect triggers. We're getting effect triggers in set 2. But it's just a reminder text. So this, for those of you who aren't familiar with Vanguard, will give your unit an additional damage if you drive check it. And a drive check is revealing the top card of your deck. Same thing with a draw trigger, you get to draw an additional card. Front trigger, give plus 10,000 power to your front row. And then your heal trigger, that's how you heal your damage. You know, 4 copies, obviously. And then we have the Sunburst Evolution, which is an order. Not the newest mechanic to Vanguard, but still pretty fresh, and they're expanding upon it in OverDress, which I'm excited about. Sunburst Evolution, you can play it with a Counterblast 1. Choose one of your units and it gets plus 5k until end of turn. Choose a Virina from your drop and put it into your hand. This is basically a spell card. You know, it's just so you can get your Virinas back to your hand. The 5k is decent, but it's not the end all be all. So yeah, that is the start deck 1. We're gonna set this aside, open up the other ones. All right, so we got that. I'm gonna set that over here, I think. And then we'll go on to the start deck 2, which is my personal favorite. I'm a big fan of Bruce. I didn't think he was going to be super sick. For those of you who are familiar with Vanguard, I thought Bruce's skill was just another Mordred skill. Got our packaging, very basic. Got our starting guide, also again very basic. I went over it once, won't go over it again. So we got, let's see, man, this one's kind of like airtight. Of the 5 that I've opened personally, I have not had one that is that airtight. But yeah, this ended up being my favorite of the start decks, and it's probably my favorite deck in general that I have right now. It's super interesting. Bruce's skill doesn't show that off because you just restand the front rear guards that you have, but there's a lot of other key pieces that make this deck super intuitive and interesting. So we're going to take a look at Diabolos Violence Bruce from the Dark States Nation. This is the Dark States trial deck, by the way. He's a grade 3 with 13k power. And auto on Vanguard. At the start of your ride phase, you Final Rush. Notice how this isn't an overdress ability? Well, that's because each start deck kind of has their own little thing going for them. Another important thing that I forgot to mention in the first start deck opening was the fact that your main grade 3s and all grade 3s, I think, right now, at least for the time being, have Persona Rad. And all that's stating is that when you're already on your main grade 3, you take another copy of it, and during your ride phase, you're right on top of it, boom, you Persona Road. And then you get plus 10k continuously to your front row until the end of turn, which is pretty cool. Not as overpowered as Imaginary Gifts, which was the whole V-Series thing. I'm pretty stoked about that. Wasn't the biggest fan of Gifts. I thought they were pretty overpowered. Persona Rad's a little bit better. So anyways, his thing is Final Rush. So at the start of your ride phase, he has Final Rush. So you already have to be sitting on him on your grade 3 turn. You'll ride him on your grade 3 turn. You'll kind of do nothing. There's a couple little things that you can do with some of the cards from the booster set to upgrade this and help you on your grade 3 turn, but this deck doesn't really start popping off until turn 4. Then he has an auto ability when this unit attacks. If you're in Final Rush, you can Soul Blast 5 and stand all of your front row rear guards. So true to like the Dark States nation, you're going to be soul charging a lot. Deck revolves a lot around the soul. You get 4 copies of him. He's your main boss unit. Probably going to be best deck, set 2, so pretty stoked about that. Then you have your Diabolos Anger Richard. He's a grade 2 with 10k power. Auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard, put a rear guard into your soul and draw a card. If you are in Final Rush, this unit gets plus 5k. Decent, but you only run 1 copy unless you're just planning on rocking the start deck for a little bit. Not bad. 15k attacker is not bad. And then obviously when he's in the ride line with Bruce, you can do some stuff with our boy Diabolos, Bad Steve. He's a grade 1 with 8k power and an auto ability. When this unit is placed on Vanguard circle, choose a card from your soul, call it to back row, center, rear, and soul charge 1. So you're going to just call your starter Innocent Matt, and then whenever you ride your boy Anger Richard, you're gonna put the Matt back into the soul and draw a card. A little plussing, pretty good. Time Fissuring Colossus. This is our starter Diabolos Innocent Matt. Same skill. When this unit is rode upon, if you want second, draw a card. Cool. So we have our Time Fissuring Fist Colossus. It's grade 3, 13k power. An auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard circle, soul charge 1. Then if you are in Final Rush, counter boss 1, and this unit gets plus 15,000 until end of turn. So on your Final Rush turns, this dude's a 28k beater. We'll get you some soul. Some people run them, some people don't. I'm not one of those people that do. I plan on putting my my Bruce deck profile post set 2, or maybe post set 1 as well, on the YouTube channel here soon. I want to start doing a lot more Vanguard content for the Cardinal Gaming YouTube channel, so you'll be seeing a lot more of me, especially now with the introduction of OverDress. I was starting to get a little stale in the V series, but here we are, and OverDress is amazing. I'm having a lot of fun with it. We got our Icicle Ein Azer. It's grade 2, 10k power, nothing special. This dude, Steam Gunner Brody. This card's amazing. He's a grade 2 with 10k power and an auto ability that when this unit is put on Guardian Circle, Crown Blast 1, and it gets plus 5k until end of that battle. Notice how it doesn't say from hand. So you can call this down on your turn 2 or your turn 3, help push some damage, and then on your opponent's turn, you can just intercept with him, counter blast 1, he's a 10k shield. That can come in handy quite a bit with the lack of 20k shields in OverDress and the lack of 10k shields. You kind of got 5 and 15 for the most part between your regular units and your triggers. And then we have our so he does, by the way, before I go on to the next card, he does make it into the deck post set 1 if you're opting for the consistent build. I've seen some other people run some other stuff, but he's actually very good. I don't think he survives post set 2. I think post set 2 the deck starts to get a little bit more aggressive, and you're eventually going to take him out. Then we have our Forgrove Acrobat Presenter. He's grade 1 with 8k power, and he has an auto ability on Rearguard Circle. When this unit attacks or boosts, if your Vanguard is Diabolos Violence Bruce, Soul Charge 1, and if you are in Final Rush, Soul Charge 1. So on your Final Rush turns, this becomes a Soul Charge 2. Really good. Pretty necessary if you have the Marjorie which is a double R for the booster set, and this guy in one column. That's a +4 to soul. Pretty much going to get your Bruce off every single turn. And then we have our grade 1 Perfect Guard, same deal as the other one. Our Over Trigger, same deal as the other one. Crits, draws, fronts, and heals. And then finally we have our Brother Soul, which is a grade 1 order card. You play it for free and just Soul Charge 2. Not bad. Is used in the ride line that was introduced in the start deck, or not the start deck, the first booster set, Master Gravity Barrow Magnus. Again, this is my favorite nation, and Bruce is my favorite archetype thus far. So pretty stoked for his set 2 support. It's looking really good. we're gonna do like a case opening of set 2 as well. So you'll have that to look forward to as well. And that one will be on time. I know I'm coming in a little bit late with these OverDress start decks, but things were just really chaotic, and we wanted to put some Vanguard content out on our channel, and Bushy Road reached out to us. So again, we're super thankful for them reaching out to us. Now we've got our Star Deck 3, the Toya Ebata or Ketter Sanctuary Star Deck. Arguably the best Star Deck out of the box. It has our boy Apex Ruler Bastion in it, which has a pretty easy to learn effect. It's very welcoming to new players and to old players who don't want to have to use a bunch of brain power during tournaments. Kind of our post set 1 tier 1 like best deck. Still beatable, but definitely still probably the best. We got our grade 3 Apex Ruler Bastion with 13k power. He has a continuous ability on Vanguard Circle. During your turn, all of your grade 3 units get plus 2,000. That's good in and of itself. Plus 2,000. More power equals more cards out of hand from your opponent. And then we have an auto ability on Vanguard Circle once per turn. At the end of that battle, that your drive check revealed a grade 3, discard a card from your hand, choose one of your rear guards, stand it, and it gets plus 10,000 until end of turn. So this dude multi-attacks, doesn't have any like turn restrictions. He just kind of pops off on turn 3. With some of the cards that were in the booster set, you know, that's kind of why he's really good. You get 4 copies of him, obviously, because he's going to be your boss monster for a little while. Knight of Heavenly Spear Rooks. He's your grade 2 from the ride line, 10k power auto. When this unit is rode upon by Apex Ruler Bastion, reveal a grade 3 grade 3 cards from your hand and draw a card. Spoiler alert, given that Bastion wants you to reveal a grade 3, with the introduction of the ride line, a lot of people only run 1-0, or well, excluding triggers, they only run the starter, 1 grade 1, 1 grade 2, and then your 4 copies Bastion, and everything else is grade 3s besides your triggers. So that's kind of how it goes. You're going to reveal a lot of grade 3 cards, you're going to get to draw 1, and then a continuous ability on rearguard circle during your turn. If you have 3 or more grade 3 units, this unit gets boosted 5,000. You don't have to worry about that because, like I said, you're only going to be running the 1 copy of him. Then we have a Knight of Heavenly Sword Fort. He's our grade 1 from the ride line with 8k power. An auto ability when this unit is rode upon by Knight of Heavenly Spear Rooks. Reveal 2 grade 3 cards from your hand. Reveal the top card of your deck and call it to rearguard circle. If it is a unit card, and put it into your drop. If it isn't, sorry, the comma kind of got me messed up there. Then he has an act ability on rearguard circle once per turn. Counterblast 1, choose one of your grade 3 Vanguards, and it gets plus 5k until end of turn. Again, you don't have to worry too much about that effect because you're only going to be running the 1. And then we have our starter. Our Vehement Witch Ramana. That's grade 3, 13k power. Auto on rearguard circle when this unit attacks, counterblast 1, and this unit gets plus 5k until end of battle. That's kind of poopy. We don't run it post set 1. Then we have our Knight of Broadaxe Refluke. He's grade 3, 13k power. Act, rearguard circle, put this unit into your soul, choose one of your grade 3 rearguards, and it gets plus 10,000 until end of turn. As far as I know, you do run this guy in 2 to 4 copies post set 1 because plus 10k to any grade 3 rearguard is really good. Then we have our Shadowbow Archer Lasana, grade 1, 8k power, vanilla. Our Platinum Wolf, grade 1, 8k power. Act on rearguard circle, Soul Blast 2, and this unit gets plus 5 until end turn, plus 5,000. Don't run it, it's grade 1. Our usual spread of Perfect Guard, Over Trigger, crits, draws, fronts, heals. Then we get to our order. The Hour of Holy Judgment cometh. Some people run this, some people don't. Play it with Counterblast 2, draw 2 cards, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 5k until end of turn. Some people run it because drawing 2 cards for a CB2 is really good, especially with the countercharger that Ketter Sanctuary got in the main booster set. Alright, so we're going to scoop up our dudes from Ketter. Move on to Star Deck 4, Megumi Okra with the Sylvan King. Pop this bad boy open. Gonna leave the rest of it in there. Comes with the usual stuff. They made these pretty minimalist, given that they are $4. I do have to say that we are charging $6 for them on our website just because they are not cheap to ship. In our case, and that MSRP of $4 is just a suggested MSRP. We're not trying to like jip anybody or anything like that, and still $6 to get into a game is ridiculously cheap. So this deck, pretty cool. Allows your units to attack from the back row. It's going to rely on lots of smaller multi-attacks. Post set 1, it does get some bigger attacks. But we have our face card and boss monster, which is the Sylvan Hornbeast King Magnolia. He's grade 3 with 13k power. Beautiful, beautiful art. He has an auto ability on Vanguard Circle at the end of the battle. This unit attack, counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards until end of turn. That unit can attack from the back row and it gets plus 5,000. If you persona road this turn, choose 3 rear guards instead of 1. So, you know, you have your board, rear guard, Vanguard, rear guard. This dude, basically, when you persona ride, attack with him, counterblast 1, the entire back row can attack rather than just boost. So it can make for some pretty powerful skills. And we have our grade 2 from the ride deck, which is the Sylvan Hornbeast Lattice. He has an auto ability when this unit is read upon by Sylvan Hornbeast King Magnolia. Soul Blast 1, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a unit card, call it to rear, and if it isn't, put it into your hand. And then auto back row rear. When this unit attacks Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets plus 10k until end of battle. One of your best attackers definitely stays in the deck post set 1. Then we have our grade 1 from the ride deck, Sylvan Hornbeast Cheris. Has an auto ability when this unit is ruled upon by Sylvan Hornbeast Lattice. You may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a grade 2 or less unit card, call it to rear, and if it isn't, put it into your soul. And then a continuous back row rear during the battle of this unit attack. This unit gets plus 5k. A lot of people are starting to swap out the ride deck for the Mysterious Rain Spiritualist Zorga ride deck. Just get a little bit early game plussing. For those of you who don't know what that is, it is a ride line that was introduced in set 1, Genesis of the 5 Greats. So then we have our Sylvan Hornbeast Lot, which is our starter, same skill as usual. Our Seizing / Mutant Brew / grade 2 vanilla, nothing special, gets cut. Sylvan Hornbeast Duger, he is a grade 2 with 10k power. Contiguous on rear. If you have 4 or more other rear guards, this unit gets plus 5k. It's pretty common to stay in the deck. Post set 1, don't know about post set 2. He's not bad. He's a good boy. Really cute artwork. Then we have our Looting Petal Stomalia, grade 2 with 10k power. Act, rear guard circle once per turn. Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1 until end of turn. This unit gets boost and plus 5,000 power. Not really good because we're not boosting. And then we have our grade 1 AK Knight of Friendship Cyrus. Act, rear guard circle once per turn. Soul Blast 2, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a unit card, call it to rear. If it isn't, put it into your hand. Not awful. There's not room for him post set 1 because this deck, as you can tell, soul blasting a lot. Same story with the post set 1 list. So unfortunately, we don't have any room for Cyrus. Really cool Neo Nectar Aqua Force kind of looking artwork. Pretty sick. Then we have our Purple Guard, Overtrigger, crits, draws, fronts, heals, and our order, Call of the Beasts. Choose one of your units against plus 5k until end of that battle. If you have 3 or more back row rear guards, it gets plus 15 instead of plus 5,000. Unfortunately, not room for that in the post set 1 list. I've seen some people tech it in. It's okay, given a unit plus 15k. You can do some pretty nasty stuff with one of the set 1 triple R cards. But that is our Sylvan Beast King deck. And then we move on to our last one, our Tomari deck, another one of my favorites. Not because of the prison waifus, but because it is a control deck. It's very fun. And post set 2 seems to be getting a little bit of buff. I'm pretty excited for those cards to come out, and is already kind of decent with the set 1 support, if your opponent doesn't know how to counterplay it. If they do, well, you're gonna have a bad time. We have our grade 3 main boss unit with 13k power, the Aurora Battle Princess Seraph Snow. She's the grade 3 from your ride line. You get 4 copies, obviously, as with the other decks that were in this video. She has a continuous ability on Vanguard Circle during your turn. If one or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned in your prison, this unit gets plus 10,000 power. And if 3 or more are imprisoned, this unit gets drive plus 1. So grade 3's twin drive with 3 cards in your prison, which I'll explain what the prison is here in just a second. She'll get an additional drive check, so you'll have triple drive with this if you're good. If you're not, then sorry about your luck. And then she has an act ability on Vanguard and Rear once per turn. Counter plus 1, choose 2 of your opponent's rear guards and imprison them in your prison. So again, we're putting stuff in prison. What is that, you say? Well, the Galaxy Central Prison Galactolus, you can play it. Let's see, where's that clause? Oh, I see. It has a cost of resting one of your units to play this card, and then auto, when this card is put into the order zone, soul charge 3. From the order zone, it has a continuous ability. When your opponent can normal call a rear guard that can perform the following. They can either Soul Blast 1. If they do so, they choose one of their imprisoned cards and call it to rear guard circle. Or they can Counter Blast 1. If they do so, they choose 2 of their imprisoned cards and call them to rear guard circle. So it's kind of a game of cat and mouse and resource denial and control. You're going to be taking your opponent's units, you're going to be tucking them away in your prison and holding on to them. They can buy them back, which they're spending all their precious resources to do, or they can just let them sit in there, give you triple drive, and then you're eventually going to overwhelm them with huge attacks. It is an archetype that kind of fell short with set 1, just because it was very easy to counterplay. In set 2, they're introducing some cards that make it less easy to counterplay. So pretty excited for the set 2 support. And then we have our grade 2 from the ride deck, 10k power, Aurora Battle Princess Risat Pink. Auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, your opponent chooses a card from their hand and imprisons it in your prison. So when she's placed, they just choose a card from their hand, put it in your prison, guarantee that 1 card at least, until they buy it back. And then she has a continuous ability on Vanguard Circle. If one or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned in your prison, this unit gets plus 2,000. She's okay. You don't run any more of her than 1 in the ride deck, and that's it. Then we have our grade 1 from the ride deck, the Aurora Battle Princess Kyanite Blue. She has an auto ability. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, search your deck for up to 1 prison card, reveal it, and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. So your turn 1's going to look a lot like ride your grade 1, search for your 1 prison card that you run post set 1, where you can use the slots for prisons a little bit more liberally, and you run 1 because you can get it guaranteed. And then you go get it, and then you can, if you're going first, you just have to rest her and play it, which is pretty cool. And then auto, when this unit is placed on rear, if 1 or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned in your prison, Counter plus 1 and Soul plus 1 and draw a card. That's a pretty decent effect. I've seen a lot of people run 2 or 3 of her post set 1. I personally run 2. Not bad to draw extra cards in any scenario ever. We have our starter, same deal as the rest. Then we have our grade 3 13k Alert Guard Gunner. He has an auto ability on rearguard. When this unit attack hits Vanguard, choose up to 2 of your opponent's rearguards and imprison them in your prison. Decent on hit pressure, but becomes wasted space when people counterplay you and start not calling rearguards, or calling rearguards that can't be chosen. So you don't really see him all that often post set 1. Then we have our grade 2, 10k power security patroller. He has an auto ability. When this unit is placed on rear, soul blast 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and imprison in your prison. It's okay. Don't really run it post set 1. Another grade 2, 10k power, vanilla. Our autonomic caution. Another card from the start deck that gets run pretty much at 4 in most cases, post set 1. Don't know about post set 2 just yet. But it's really good because it's super easy to get 1 card in your prison, and with his effect, he's grade 1 with 8k power. He has a continuous ability on rearguard circle or guardian circle. If one of your opponent's cards is imprisoned in your prison, this unit gets plus 2,000 power and plus 5k shield. So it's a 10k guard. Again, with the Brody that we talked about earlier, 10k guards are pretty decent. A lot of people run this at 4, especially with all the counterplay that happens to this deck, unfortunately. Then we have our usual spread of starter deck: Sentinel, Overtrigger, crits, draws, fronts, heals, and then of course our prison that we covered earlier, so I won't go over it again. But yeah, those are the Cardfight Vanguard OverDress start decks. Again, if you guys are unfamiliar with Vanguard or have always wanted to try it out, now's the best time to, because they have really taken the game and implemented a lot of mechanics and stuff that kind of fixed the game. There's the one kind of iffy part with the Overtrigger. It's controversial, but it's not a deal breaker because everything else about OverDress that's good outweighs the Overtrigger. And I've been having a ton of fun with it. So if you want to pick these up, just go to our website, cardinalgaming.com. They are $6 from us. Like I said, they're kind of expensive to ship. We ship a lot of online orders, but they're $6 from us. You can pick them up, try everything for, close to, I guess, $30. That's unheard of in any card game ever, aside from the one-time Pokemon released super cheap start decks. But I don't know how they did it. They're probably losing money on these things. They have to be, because at $4 MSRP, these are a crazy good deal. Even at $6, they're still a crazy good deal. So yeah, I just wanted to show these off for you guys. Bushy Road kindly gave them to me to actually open up for you guys. And like I said, keep an eye out. We're going to be doing a video with Mason, teaching him how to play Vanguard. And thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace out.